This is Alexander George. I'm here with Inside Ambition, and today we're talking to Cristina Tessaro. She runs the pop-up gardens for the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, and she's going to talk about a project they're working on at Drexel. Hi, Cristina. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So why don't we start with you just telling us a little bit about what PHS is?
So the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society is coming up on its 200th anniversary. In
Wow.
1827, it was founded by a number of Philadelphians, and then in 1829, they got together and did the first flower show. And that's actually what most people know us for, is the flower show. Happens every year, brings around 250,000 people from surrounding areas. But we have a wide variety of programs that focus on greening in all forms. So we have a tree initiative, tree tenders, and Plant 1 Million. We have land care, which is part of our Healthy Neighborhoods. Land care manages 12,000 vacant lots within Philadelphia, cleaning, greening, stabilizing. They also train a workforce development, folks coming out of the prison system,
Wow.
giving them a landscape training, and then connect them with landscape crews that do the stabilization of the vacant lots. We do community gardens. We have pop-up gardens. We do a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is PHS doing at Drexel with the Firestone Garden?
Well, as you may or may not know, we partnered with Drexel and Wexford Science and Technology the past 3 years to activate the site at the corner of 36th and Filbert, which is a corner of the larger parcel that's now under construction, where we tried to, really bring awareness to that corner in what is going to be the future of a very big conglomerate of different activities with the school and, health buildings. And when that started to close down, Drexel approached me about the Firestone site that they had acquired a few years ago, and similar desire of activating it in a way that originally was focused in food and beverage. But when I took a look at the site, with a few insider Drexel people,
Mm-hmm.
and their opinions, it became very apparent that the school was wanting and in need of a communal, multifunctional space that
Mm-hmm.
could be harmonized with plant material. So when we were writing this proposal to Drexel, it became knowledge that this was a project from President John Fry. I actually got to meet him at the flower show when we did the press conference, but this has really been his project for a number of years after acquiring the building, to just activate this in a way that's really meaningful to the student body. So I just wanted to say thank you to President Fry for pushing forward this initiative. We're really excited.
Yeah, it sounds like a really great idea. And this space is right in front of one of our major living areas at University Crossings. So could you talk a little bit about what the space will actually look like, or what the plan for the space is going to be physically?
Sure. So we're occupying just the exterior, with a wonderfully planted garden. The interior is maybe in the future, maybe something else will happen. So we're really just focusing on what was the parking lot of the Firestone building. And we aren't doing any major construction. We're really just planting raised beds and making it, again, multifunctional. So the idea is that food trucks could come down JFK, and two of them could sit on the JFK side of the property. Then there would be tables and chairs in front of the garages with an area that could be seats at one point, but is also outfitted as a stage. So it could host impromptu performances or really act as this space for theater and music and, comedy, whatever the student body wanted to use it as. And then there will also be another, like on the other side where there's the Drexel sign on the other side of the Lancaster walkway, really embellish that as well. So the whole thing feels like a garden. So we're really going to build up with planters that have seats on them, and hopefully some outlets throughout the entire area so that you can sit there with your computer in this, beautiful garden that really can take you outside of the city. With designing this garden, there were two pretty important things that we wanted to highlight, which was when you're walking down Lancaster Walk towards the Frank Furness building, so the Firestone site would be on your left. We really wanted to make sure that the Furness building was in clear view. It's one of your highlights throughout campus, so not blocking that whatsoever. And that when we started, speaking to people in the Drexel community and the student body, they really liked the kind of modern or retro modern look of the Firestone building itself. So we really didn't want to touch anything. We just wanted to embellish it with the exterior garden design. So having those two unique buildings right close to each other, and people don't really see the Firestone site, so we really wanted to just make it look cool and not like an unused building.
That it just sounds so beautiful just imagining it all.
And then the other idea, which we're still working on, is part of where the tables and chairs are. We would like to work with your dining facilities and the folks that you have a CSA program and a farm share stand that sometimes happens in the summer, and potentially moving one of those to be part of it, and have a weekly farmers market that would sell fresh fruit, produce, potentially some local beverages. In PA, you're able to sell local Pennsylvania breweries and distilleries can sell their products closed container. So we would like to connect the student body and the faculty with more local options.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. Sometimes Drexel can feel like it's its own little bubble outside of Philadelphia. So you also mentioned that PHS does a lot of programming. So outside of the programming that would just be facilitated by Drexel and its students and faculty, can you foresee any PHS programming being brought to that space, and what would that look like?
Absolutely. That's another major part of the proposal that I forgot to mention, so thank you. I personally will be bringing programs to the site where it's everything from a plant swap to succulent plantings in a little, container that you can have in your dorm room, very focused for understanding the confined spaces that the students are living in. So houseplant focused for sure. We could do all sorts of things. There's some crafting workshops, macrame workshops. I proposed a full list of different horticulturally based fun activities to Drexel. And when we get to the point where we could be closer to that, we'll involve the student body and sort of poll them on what you'd like to see. There'll probably be caps to it because I can't obviously have everyone in all at once. So you'll probably have to watch through the Drexel channels when the programming will happen. You'll probably need to register just so we can make sure that we get you signed up properly.
And what would pricing look like for students?
I try and keep it pretty minimal. So things like plant swaps are free. So you can propagate the plant that you're sitting right next to. You can take a little leaf, put it in some water, and you could come with that for the free plant swap. And then the other ones, I try and keep around $10.
That's awesome.
They go up to 20, but again, it depends on what we would agree upon with the student body. But try and keep it cheap.
That's awesome. Great for college students.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question for you. I know that the original end date for this project was supposed to be sometime early May, something like that. Based on the world right now, do you guys have any plan of when production's going to take place, or any idea? What does that look like right now?
So our original plan was to have it completed, installation this coming week, 2 weeks, May 5th. Unfortunately, that is not happening. And while we remain in conversations with Drexel, the staff and everybody that we've been working with are amazing. Obviously, things have changed, and we hope that the project is still moving forward. There's a lot of things that are at play. I'd say best case scenario is maybe it could be installed later this summer and then open for the student body in the fall. But if there is no student body coming back this fall, that's up for discussion. And we may just put the project on hold until we have a better sense that the students will be there to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And how long does production take? And the garden can be utilized in any season, right? It doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah, we do seasonal changeouts that include winter activation. Obviously, if it's like 5 degrees, nobody's really going to want to sit out there, but it won't look barren by any means. It'll have some really interesting plant material chosen for the winter season. And the idea is that it's open. It's called the Gateway Garden, brought to life by PHS. So we maintain it, but it's yours. And that also does mean that the average person could potentially walk by and sit down and enjoy it themselves. The idea is that we would work with the Drexel staff to be able to reserve certain sections. So if you wanted to have a performance, you could speak to the person I can't remember and reserve it. And then I would have a hold on programming coming this day so that you know that you couldn't reserve it at that actual time frame. But it really is for everyone. And so it's not going to take very long for us to build. It's really, and plant material is already procured. We already have it growing. So, I mean, if we got the green light, it would be a matter of a few weeks before it could be up and running. It's just watching what happens in the world today. And really, is there going to be a student body coming back in the fall for it?
Well, that all sounds very promising, and it's nice to have something to look forward to when we are back on campus. So thank you so much for talking with me today. I know a lot of students are going to be really excited to hear about this garden.
I hope so. And we really want to open the lines of communication to your student body to know that PHS is here as a resource for you. So even if it's not, sitting in the garden and enjoying it, knowing that PHS exists and that we have plenty of programs that might be interesting for you in your regular life. So we're excited to continue our work with Drexel. Thank you.
Thank you.